As you can see, we're doing another soundtrack review. For this is only the third movie, and today we got two other people to joining us. And would you like to introduce yourselves? So give us a brief description of yourself.
Sure, I'm Harry Thomas Pictures, and today I'm here to give my thoughts on the soundtrack for How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World. Hey guys.
All right. What about you, NewOrca? What?
Hi.
Okay. All right. This is just gonna be a huge fun review. Right. We have an Irish person and two English people. So
Wait, I was about to do an Irish accent, but then I realised I'm English, so Ooh, would you like a cup of tea? It's so British, you see.
Okay, let's begin. All right. Yeah. So. Okay. So. Today we're gonna review the soundtrack for How to Train Your Dragon 3: The Hidden World, and next up I'll be doing the commentary on the movie soon. So stay tuned for that. Yeah.
Loading up
So.
the soundtrack now. Oh yes, I see. Yes, whole 18 so fuck's sake. Oh,
All right.
I shouldn't swear. I'm sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
So the first track we have to talk about is Raiders Return to Busy Busy Burke. So, who wants to give their thoughts on the first track of the movie?
What? Sorry.
Who wants to? Oh, who wants to give their tracks on the first track of the third movie? I'll start off with Harry.
Thanks.
Harry. Yeah, because Harry's the mature, sensible boy here.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Thanks. As for my thoughts on bringing dragons back to Busy Burke, yeah, and I do like how the music for the epic opening of the Hidden World. It's so thrilling. Like you're watching the opening of an Avengers movie, and then the music gets far more cheerful and optimistic as they're bringing the dragons like the Crimson Gorgusser back to a overpopulated Burke with dragons at this point. So you feel like yep, Hiccup has done it. So yeah, while it's far from my favorite track of the movie, it totally serves its purpose at being the opening track for the film. So yeah, that's what I have to say.
All right. Thomas, or should I say NewOrca, what are your thoughts on the track?
Sorry. No orca. Oh, what is it? I think the very beginning bit is quite recognizable. Like, the bit of the melody. Other than that, it's quite for an intro piece, it's fairly mediocre, I think, compared to previous, like in the first and second one, the opening soundtrack. I don't know if it's just nostalgia, but I think that one's a bit better than 3 because you kind of lose the melody or the song in it. I don't know.
To me personally, I think I love the track as a whole. Um, it reminds me a bit of a Kung Fu Panda fight scene with the comedy. Um, I think well, I love the bit where it's like the music where you see the Hiccup and the others like come from the ocean, where it transitions from the hunters on the ship and then it transitions to Hiccup and Toothless flying to the Utopia, the one we see in the teaser. I think the music there is just amazing, and it really shows that this is going to be. It really feels like a genuine sequel to How to Train Your Dragon 2. It really acknowledges it, and it does a great job. I think it does a fantastic job at doing that, and yeah, it's a very genuine continuation to How to Train Your Dragon 2. Yeah. Next track. The next one we have is Dinner Talk slash Gribble's
Oh, okay,
introduction.
thanks.
So, Principal Thomas, give your thoughts on it.
Oh, thanks. I'll give my thoughts. Just quickly because my dinner's ready. But I will say, this is one of my favorite tracks of the entire movie. Just hearing the music build up to Grimmel's epic and dramatic entrance, and it's such a dark theme, even darker than Drago's, and it's the most memorable DreamWorks villain theme I've ever heard. And so yeah, and it's a perfect. It's one of the perfect parts of the soundtrack for me. See you both. Be back when I've had my dinner.
All right. All right. Harry will be back. NewOrca, would you like to give your thoughts on the Rummel's introduction track?
Sorry, I'm just like kind of listening to it just to remind me.
You do know there's a thing called copyright.
Yeah, but can you hear it?
We kind of could.
Oh. Oh well. It's on your channel.
Alright.
That's fine. I think I quite like. I do quite like it. I like Grimmel's theme. It's nice. Quite. The beginning's quite nice and relaxing. The dinner talk part.
Yeah.
But the actual theme of Grimmel getting introduction is quite like. You can tell it's quite intense. It's like, oh, it's like, I don't know,
Yeah, it's very dramatic. Rimmel is going to be a very intimidating villain for the movie, and it kind of reminds me of Shen a little bit with the whole entrance when you see the hunters use their bow and arrows, and then you see Grimmel just walking by. So it's kind of like Lord Shen, where it's like, then he just comes in, then just kills people.
I know this is a bit off topic, but whilst we're waiting for Harry to get his dinner, I just really want to mention there's a soundtrack in 2. It's the part when the Alpha takes control of Toothless.
Yes.
Or the Wildebeest takes control of Toothless. That bit, that really eerie bit of music, I absolutely love.
Okay.
It literally sends chills.
Mm.
You know what part I'm talking about?
Yeah, you're talking about the bit where Toothless then gets controlled.
Yeah, and like, I forgot how it goes. I don't know. It's like,
I think.
How does it go? It's like it's quite simplistic, but it's really, really you can feel the stress, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's like uh-oh, and I listened to it like a little while ago, and I actually got full on chills.
Alright, I'll give my thoughts on the track. Dinner Talk slash Rimmel's introduction, I think, is a very interesting track. Obviously, the dinner bit is quite nice, but I think Grimmel's theme, like I said, is very dun dun dun. It's very dark for a movie. I think it's definitely one of DreamWorks' best. Who would you say which DreamWorks villain has the best music theme?
DreamWorks villain? I don't know. Probably actually, yeah, I know. Actually, Kung Fu Panda 3, Kai.
Yeah, I was like, I knew you were gonna say that. Dun, 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 dun.
To be honest, I think How to Train Your Dragon 3. Oopsie, that's a notification. Oh my god, I can't think. How to Train Your Dragon 3. I think the music in general is a bit more generic type sound, if you know what I mean. Because in the first one and like kind of the second one, you can really hear the Celticness Well, they play Celtic music like the flute and the bagpipes and stuff like that. In this one's a bit more of a just generic orchestra, and I dislike that. I like when it's like quite an iconic sound, and you can hear it and you know what it's from.
I disagree with that because I mean I think like the soundtrack really it's different because it's
Oh, don't get me wrong. Some bits in this does have really good soundtracks, but that's when they kind of stray from the some bits of generic orchestra sound, if you know what I mean. Like, for example, I know we're going to get to it, like kind of Exodus, and I think and the third day of Toothless and the Light Fury, you know, with that not music bit scene, not trying to be forbidden friendship, but well, he's trying to be forbidden friendship, but fails.
I think yeah I think the soundtrack is I mean I think like I think the third movie soundtrack is so good, especially the third act soundtrack. Like, I'll just say the ending, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, I love the ending. Oh, I love that ending. That's my the ending soundtrack is my favorite.
I would have to agree with that.
I
But
love
I mean, obviously, Together from Afar, which is wonderful. I'll get to that one later
it.
on.
We're going a bit ahead, aren't we? Shall we go on to the next one, or are we waiting?
We'll wait for Harry.
Hey, fellas.
Oh, Harry, you're back.
Oh, the legend himself.
You took so long.
I'm so sorry for that.
No, you've nothing to worry about. We
That is
just
something to
finished
worry about. You're leaving our precious fans waiting.
Yeah, we're keeping this bit in.
No,
Alright,
fans, hello.
Harry's back, everyone. Say hi.
Woo!
Alright,
fellas.
Harry, give us your thoughts on Legend Has It / Cliffside Playtime.
Well, this is a
soundtrack.
It's such a soothing and a calm soundtrack, and that works for Stoic's flashback to and that works for Stoic and Hiccup's flashback, where as Stoic is explaining to Hiccup about the hidden world, and then we get to the Hickstrid moments where Hiccup informs Astrid about the hidden world. So yeah, it's not one of the better tracks of the movie, but it did have some heart to it. So yeah, it's decent.
Alright, continue.
So yeah, what is the track after that?
Well, we have to give our thoughts first, Harry.
Oh yeah, sure.
Be patient, patient, Mr. O'Brien, patient. Right, NewOrca, give us your thoughts on the track.
What? I really like it. I like the Celtic theme. It's nice. It's one of my more favorite tracks because it has like a nice sound to it. It's not. I know I've already said this, but it's not. It doesn't sound like the generic action type music that you find in pretty much all films. It's a bit more iconic because it has, I think, just a flute in it as well. I just like it because I like Celtic music, and the melody is quite nice. And also, I really like. Actually, no, it's a different soundtrack for the actual trailer, isn't it?
All right, you guys can still hear me, right?
Yeah.
All right,
You're a bit quiet.
sorry, you just switching between headphones because I got a blocked ear. Yeah.
You're a bit more quiet.
All right. Yeah, I think this track is pretty cool. Pretty much, I agree with you guys' thoughts. It's a very interesting track. It reminds me a little bit of How to Train Your Dragon 2 with like the way it's like Hiccup and Astrid just messing around, like and yeah, I think it's a pretty cool track. It's a very intriguing track. It's very soothing.
That, children, is not how we do our soothing dance. This is how you do the soothing dance. All right, sorry. Yeah, I pretty much agree with you guys' thoughts. Yeah. Okay, so all right, next track. We have Toothless Smitten. Smitten? Very weird. Harry, give us your thoughts.
Okay, the track where Toothless meets his lovely lady, the Light Fury. This music, it's oh yeah,
Is that
good
Thank
one. Yeah, this track, it's romantic and it's beautiful. I absolutely love it, and even while not the best of the Toothless and Light Fury tracks, yeah, if maybe this is the weakest of the tracks in the moments they share together, but yeah, it's still a lovely to listen to. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right, NewOrca, thoughts?
Yeah, you get like a sense of curiosity in it as well. I basically agree with Harry.
Okay, I pretty much agree as well. Sorry, everyone. Next one. Worst pep talk ever.
Okay, worst pet talk ever. Well, this track is well, it's while it does build the tension to when Hiccup and Tough Nut and Toothless they discover Grimmel's trap house in the woods. It did its job at building the tension superbly, but other than that, the it's forgettable. Yeah, there's barely any music in this track, so yeah, and it would be one
You're
of my
not so
least
positive
favorite.
today, Harry, are you?
Oh yeah, so I will get some the more positive tracks later on, but yeah, this is one of the weakest tracks in the soundtrack. Yeah, that's my
This is
thoughts.
one of your weakest tracks, students. We need to have stronger soundtracks.
They need to have stronger soundtracks.
All right, next one.
Why do you find my Scottish accent very? Oh, I'm not very good, am I?
All right, next one.
I give up.
I am the Night Fury killer.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well, I'll
Not
give
my
one.
thoughts then.
Amazing track. Harry, sum up your thoughts.
Oh yeah, uh, oh yeah, not Night Fury Killer. This track is freaking awesome. This is one of my favorite scenes in the movie when Grimmel enters Hiccup's house and he shows what a formidable foe he truly is. And this track it's it's so eerie and it's helps Grimmel and his Death Grippers feel like the greatest threats our Burkians have ever faced, and it gets super intense and thrilling when the Death Grippers come in and just burn Hiccup's house to the ground just in a matter of moments. So yeah, this track is a masterpiece. Yeah, that's my thoughts.
Okay, wait, hang on. I just want to check sure if my screen share is fixed. Hang on. I just want to make sure if you guys can hear this. I'm not screen sharing like a track. I just want to know if you can hear it.
Yes, I can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear.
Okay. I was just making sure my screen share is working. Yeah. Pretty much. Okay. So, yeah. Wait. NewOrca, did you give your thoughts on Night Fury Killer?
Yes, well, you missed my last review, Rui. You missed my last thoughts on the previous track.
Oh,
So,
right.
yes. So, the last track, the worst pep talk ever. I like the beginning because it's a very tough nut type theme, and but it is a bit more generic out of all the tracks. The next one is the Night Fury Killer, as we know, as we've just been recently discussing, and I personally I'm not a big fan of it. I do get why you can like it. It is quite an eerie track. I do agree in that sense. It is technically a strong piece, and I could see why some people may like it. But personally, I'm not a huge fan. I don't know why. I just am not really liking it. It's all right, but I think some elements like the I like that bit, but like I don't know.
Yeah, as for my thoughts on it, it's awesome. It actually gives me more ideas for the next Kung Fu Panda movie.
Hooray!
But well, predictions.
My thoughts of Kung Fu Panda 4 is gonna be coming out soon. What? Quick plug.
Yeah, it's a very cool track, Night Fury Killer. Next one, Exodus. I don't have a lot to say about it. It's a nice track. Da, na, 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 na. Yeah, it's a very intriguing track. Onto your thoughts,
How's
Harry.
the Celtic theme?
Oh yeah, Exodus. This track is epic. It is powerful, and it helps the moment, which is the turning point in the plot where the Burkians are searching for the hidden world and they arrive on the new Burka. At the same time, Grimmauld is tracking them with the warlords. It helps those scenes feel even more awesome. As NewOrca said, I love the inclusion of the Celtic theme. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
NewOrca. Your thoughts.
Again, I can see why it's a strong piece, but I'm not a huge fan. I don't know why. I think just some melody doesn't really work for me. But I really like the Celtic part in it.
All
I
right.
like that bit, and I like some. It's like because it's quite a fairly lengthy track. It's like 6 minutes long. Some bits are like, some other bits meh.
All right. Next one. Third Date.
Oh,
This is a very nice track. I like the music. It's
I know.
very funny, very fun. So give your thoughts at Harry Thomas Pictures.
Oh yeah, for Third Day. So this track is even better than Toothless Smitten. It's such a adorable track to just and the soundtrack itself tells the scene as there's so little dialogue in it, with Toothless and the Light Fury just with Toothless courting the Light Fury with his actions and not words. So yeah, it would be my second favorite of the Toothless and Light Fury tracks. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right.
Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. I love that. I really do like it.
Your thoughts are over.
No. I'm more. No,
Big
yeah, no, I do really like it. I just, the melody is really sweet in a way, and it kind of innocent. It's just like innocent young love in a way. And it has like the curiosity in a way. It's like it's just playful. And
Yeah,
also
I do agree.
there's bits of like when sudden happen. Obviously, that's when Toothless messes something up or acts a bit too goofy. Not overly fan of those bits, but I get why they're there. It's just it works with the film. But if it on the track on its own, like if you're just listening to it, I don't really like it. But I love everything else around it.
All right. All right. Next. Oh, we're actually nearly done. New tale. Harry, give your thoughts on it.
Yeah, this track, I would rank it in one of the middle tracks of the soundtrack. It's extremely short, when we see Toothless get his new tail fin, but it does have a positive feeling to it. So now that Toothless finally has his freedom, so yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right. My thoughts are, yeah. I like how it goes. Da, na, 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 da, 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 da. It's nice. I like it. NewOrca, your thoughts?
Just it's a very samey track. Apart from the end, the ending's nice because it has a Train Dragon melody in that. It's like when he flies off. Of course, I love that bit because it's the actual melody of the franchise. but the bit before that is just samey as everything else in the film. I mean, yes, it kind of fits the style of what the film soundtrack is. So yeah, that's good, but it's a bit boring in that sense.
All right. Yeah. We next. Yeah, I pretty much. Yeah, it's a nice track. Next one. Furies in Love, which is the one where they go into the storm, I believe, which is cool. So give your thoughts on it, Harry.
Furies in Love. This is my favorite of the Toothless and Night Fury tracks. It is absolutely incredible, especially in the moment where Toothless and the Light Fury they they discover the hidden world, and when it goes da 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 da, oh, that is a flawless. So yeah, that it's one of my favorite tracks of the movie. That's my fours.
NewOrca, your thoughts?
I don't know. It's not my favorite out of the Light Fury and Night Fury tracks. Obviously, my favorite is the Third Date. Um, I don't. I don't know. Again, I can appreciate why it's really good, and some elements in that, of course, I really like. But for some, I don't know. It just doesn't really do it for me. I don't know. I don't know why. It's just.
All right. Next
I,
track. Killer Dragons. I'll give my thoughts on it. This track's awesome. It's awesome. It really, like I said earlier, acknowledges How to Train Your Dragon 2 happened. It's awesome. Awesome track. Harry, your thoughts?
Yeah, totally agree. This is Killer Dragons is super awesome, and it's and it helps you feel the danger that's Grimorna poses to Hiccup and his dragon riders when he nearly traps them and has them slaughtered in his fortress by the Death Grippers. So yeah, it rocks. That's my thoughts.
All right, NewOrca, your thoughts?
pretty hard to do a House of Change Dragon 3 soundtrack analysis or not, well, review, because I haven't really got an opinion. I mean, the thing is, it's weird because I really like. I can talk probably for hours about the first two soundtracks. But the entirety of 3, not so much. This one, I think more of it. A lot of it's quite forgettable in a way. But I mean, because I mean, it's not as if I haven't really listened to it because I listened to the whole soundtrack quite a bit. But when you kind of binge listen to them all, because I do a lot of art, because my yeah, I have my subject I do is art based. So sometimes I listen to the soundtracks, and when you kind of binge watching them all, it's a bit all samey, and it's just I get like I'm struggling to really kind of review it because I get the stressfulness, but there's nothing special, if you know what I mean. There's nothing that sticks out from the rest. It's a good soundtrack, yeah, but there's nothing that makes it like unique in a way, if you get what I mean.
All right. Okay. Next track. With loves come a great waterfall. I like it. It's a nice track. It's a very lovely track. Like it really gets the emotional side of things and how it's very emotional. I'll say that. Harry, your thoughts? With
Oh
love,
yeah,
great
is
waterfall.
oh is this the track where Hiccup, Astrid, and Stormfly discover the waterfall to the hidden world? Is this?
I think it is, but I mean,
Not
then
quite.
again, there's
It's a bit
The
before that.
Hidden World by Johnsy, but then there's also the one where Stoic talks to Hiccup.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, it's well, well, yeah, it's a decent track. It does get you pumped for your first look at the hidden world. But that's all I have to say. That's my thoughts.
NewOrca, you go.
I think the ending, because the first bit's kind of again generic with all the other bits of soundtrack, but the ending, I do like that bit. The just bit the bit I think it's just all it is just Hiccup and Astrid just flying on Stormfly going towards the hidden world. With the oops.
Actually, no, just had a listen. The start of it is Stoic and Hiccup as a toddler, and then the rest of it is
Oh right, yeah. In a little while. Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's nice to listen to. It's a bit different from the rest of the soundtrack. I think the ending bit, if I remember it, or it just might click with me a bit more. The reason why I like it a bit more because it has a bit more of a grand sound. Is it has the like a choir or orchestra. Or what's the word? Where a load of people going. Oh, yeah, I like that.
all right. The next one, The Hidden World.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I really do.
NewOrca, you give us your thoughts first.
Yeah, I can because this is one of my this is like closely to one of my favorite bits. As you can probably tell, it's a very unique soundtrack, especially compared to the rest of the film, and it's so nice and it's so calming to listen to, and oh my god, because it's simplistic in a way because all you kind of hear is a voice initially. It's just I don't know why I love that sound for some reason. I really do. And it gets a bit more grand, obviously, when the whole hidden world is revealed with the crystal and all the dragons, and that's nice. But it's just the simplistic of just I don't know what language they're singing in, but
Well, it's not supposed to be a language. It's
isn't
just
it? Is it?
like,
I thought it would be a language. Usually soundtracks like that do a language. But it's said kind of slowly, so it kind of sounds like gibberish. But I don't know. I just really like it because it's really unique, and I really like that sound of a choir. So it works for me, and it's a bit nostalgic as well because a game that I used to love when I was younger, which was Endless Ocean, had that sound quite a lot. So that's probably why I liked it.
all right. Harry Thomas, give your thoughts.
Whoa, this soundtrack is my top 5 favorite tracks of the entire movie. This soundtrack is astonishing. It is, my god, this is the track that should get How to Train Your Dragon 3's soundtrack and John Powell a Oscar nomination. It is that good just to see it.
I'd be pissed off if this movie doesn't get nominated, though.
Yeah, you and me both, but the track itself, it captures the beauty of the hidden world, especially when Hiccup and Astrid and Stormfly, they're flying through, all the lights come up and you see then it gets at its most epic when you see Tubeless and the Light Fury and the crystal with all the dragons. It is a magnificent track, one of the greatest in the movie. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
All right.
Definitely agreed.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. All right. Next one. All right, we're nearly done. Oh, we only have 3 tracks left.
No, there's more. There's
Armada Battle. I'll give my thoughts.
Actually,
This track's awesome. I love how it builds up the tension, how long it is. It's actually 8 minutes long.
It's long. Oh my god, I have to listen to this. I can't. Well, the beginning bit is the talk with Hiccup and Astrid, encouraging
You're the
him.
most hot, sexiest, hottest knucklehead I know.
Wait, you still there, NewOrca?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Alright, well, yeah, this track's awesome. It's really tension, it's dramatic, it's
Remember it.
exciting, engaging, and yeah,
Well, it has the bit of the romantic flight.
NewOrca, give us your thoughts.
Sorry, I am interrupting. It has the bit of the romantic flight in it, doesn't it?
I can see her, yeah, I can sort
The section, like I kind of like. I love that. They do that a lot in the second one, where they bring back bits of the older soundtracks, because then you associate that bit of music with that character, and especially with the romantic flight music, you really associate with that Astrid because it's used over and over again throughout all three films. And again, the romantic, if I can speak, the romantic flight section in that is nice because all that is just Hiccup and Astrid like facing each other, and then a bit of a cheeky toss of a hideous zippleback gas grenade, and Hiccup.
But what is that though?
I don't know. It's a bit.
Hiccup. But I'm confused. Why is that meant to be the one where Hiccup then saves Astrid and then thanks? I'm confused. What?
I get kind of what they're going for. It's like a bit of I don't know. I guess it's a bit like a cheeky in a way. It's like.
What about you, Harry? What is that
They
meant to
kind of
be?
made it a bit romantic, like, oh, I throw my bomb, and I throw
Yeah.
my card.
Yeah, they did it in a romantic way.
It's a bit. I like it because it's so cheeky. Yeah, sorry, I interrupted. I'm rude.
Harry, give us your thoughts on Armada Battle.
Oh, this track is well, it is fucking epic. It is, and it's one
Whoa,
of the
language.
longer. Oh, sorry.
No, don't worry.
And one of the longer tracks of the movie being at 8 minutes, and I love how it includes some of the Battle of the Bewilderby soundtrack from How to Train Your Dragon 2 in it, and yeah, and yeah, it helps this Armada battle feel like the grandest and best final battle in the entire trilogy. So yeah, it would be in my top 10 favorite parts of this track. So yeah, it's perfect. That's my force.
Yeah.
All right, we're sadly nearly done.
Yeah, that track is really good. I mean, I would comment it more, but it's 8 minutes, and I can't be else listening to that. So
Next up, As Long as He's Safe.
isn't that
Harry, give us your thoughts.
when's that bit? When
That's when Hiccup and Grimmel are falling, and then Hiccup and Toothless part ways.
Oh yeah, sorry. All right, yeah, you go on then.
Okay, so this track is in. This is one of my. This would be this would be, not counting Together from Afar. This would be my second favorite track of the entire movie. It is such a suspenseful moment when you see Hiccup and Grimmel falling and the music. It helps that, and then the music feels it feels so far more happy when the Light Fury rescues Hiccup, and then the music it gets emotional when Hiccup and Toothless and the Dragons and Birkins are passing ways to keep them safe. I cannot listen to that score without at least shedding one tear. This ending is even sadder
Yeah.
than the ending of Toy Story 3.
Obviously.
Yeah, I would go that far. And then
It is. It's much sadder.
agreed. And then I love how the soundtrack in this track also includes parts of it includes some of Toothless Found from How to Train Your Dragon 2, but that works. That helps up the emotion even more. So yeah, this track is is flawless. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my
yeah.
thoughts.
Yeah, 'cause that
NewOrca, your thoughts?
that's a good technique. Like especially Pixar, because what they do, because if like Pixar's quite famous to having sad scenes in their films, and which always make you cry. But how they do it, because they don't put on just a generic sad sounding track. They repeat the same track that they used before in a more happier moment, but that relates to the character. And I think they did that in here for the DreamWorks for How to Train Your Dragon 3. As you said, they had a bit of a Toothless theme and it had a bit more of a recognizable melody. I really do like this piece. It's really, really nice and relaxing, and I love like piano-esque or chill violin type music as well. I really like that, and this is again one of my favorite bits. I love the bit in the film where it kind of goes almost silent when Toothless gets fallen off, gets knocked. Well, he sacrifices himself pretty much. That bit that is really suspenseful. Yeah, and it has the Celtic sound. It has other tracks from previous films, and it's very nostalgic in a way, but it's still its own piece, and I just really like the sound of it. Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. My thoughts. I love the bit where it's like after Grimmel dies. I do think Grimmel could have had a better death, though.
Yeah, I mean they had to be a bit safe because it is a family film, so
I
they
know
couldn't
that, but I
exactly
mean, like, as
brutally
you
murder
said,
him.
like he's just kind of like, oh, he falls. We don't know. Is he really dead?
Yeah, from a fall from that height, yes, he is.
Yeah, but I mean, I know we're supposed to take that he's dead, but to me, I mean, like, just like, why couldn't we have something like a bit cooler? But I mean, I can see why it's done, but it's just like, oh, is he actually dead?
Yeah, yeah. I know I know it gives you a bit of suspense. Is he actually dead? But I mean, I could be wrong. Somehow he may survive, but I doubt it because a fall from that height would either kill you or at least knock you out, and he'll probably drown.
All right, but yeah, I love obviously when it goes done, done. It obviously feels like, yay, it's over, the final battle, yay.
But then
Um,
there's the dread. Oh,
then
you realise. I
the
know.
tearjerker, yeah, and then obviously, I love how it's like everyone's happy, and then Toothless just goes, "Oh, you're right, bud. It's time." Well, Hiccup says, "You're right, bud. It's time," and it's very emotional. It's very tearjerker. I love how at the beginning of it, where Hiccup's about to attack Gribble, it's just so exciting, and yeah, that's my thoughts on it. And now we go on to the final track of this franchise. Well, Together from Afar is obviously the big one, but I mean like for like
There's the Hidden World suit, whatever. I don't know.
yeah, but that's
That's
just
not
a
really in the
bonus
film, I
track.
think. It's kind of a
That's
separate.
on,
Well,
yeah.
I still listen to it. Anyway, carry on.
All right, Once There Were Dragons. Harry, give your thoughts.
Or Once There Were Dragons. If there was a, if there, yeah, this would be my favorite track of the entire movie. It begins with Hiccup and Astrid's wedding. Finally, we get that Hickstrid wedding, which we have been waiting to see for 9 freaking years, and it couldn't have had better music to show us. And it's and then we get we get to the part where Hiccup and Toothless finally meet again after so long, with Hiccup and Astrid's kids, Zephyr and Nothing, and then they fly around, and that music is just wonderful when we hear the theme from the first How to Train Your Dragon played again, which is a perfect callback as to the first movie,
Yes.
and then that final shot where the dragons fly into the air, and yeah, this track. It's just now this is a track as to conclude a trilogy. It is absolutely wonderful, and it's the best track in the entire of John Powell's soundtrack. Yeah, if and it had better. It had better. And I know for a fact a Toy Story 4 won't have a track that will even come close to this. So yeah, that's my fault.
Agreed.
Oh my god, I love this track.
Go on.
I can't hold myself back. I have to speak. I love this track. The beginning bit with Astrid Redding scene, that's a little bit weak. I mean, it's all right. It does its purpose. I think it's pretty good. I think they could do a bit better. But the bit afterwards, when they're sailing the boat with their kids, I love that bit so much. Especially when Toothless lands on their boat. That actually makes me cry. If I'm just listening to it. I love that. That actually makes me cry, just of like happiness. But then I also love the bits, obviously, with the first film. So they have a bit of forbidden friendship, and if you don't know, because I probably haven't said it yet, forbidden friendship is my absolute favorite piece from the whole franchise and everything. I absolutely adore that piece, and it has a bit of that in, because I love how they use that symbol of, the hand putting on Toothless. They did it in the Forbidden Friendship, say hi, and then that's the film. And then in the third one, they did it. He did it again when he's saying goodbye to Toothless. In the track before, and then in this bit here, he's doing it. He's kind of doing it again to say, to say hello again. But then the kids do it as well to say hi to them, and that point has that forbidden friendship dot, and I absolutely love that. And then later, pretty much at the end, so good because it has like the mixture of I think either the first, maybe bit of the second, and also the third kind of sound like track in a way. They have a certain style, and they could kind of combine it all together for a big, like, massive monumentous piece. And then just a big monumentous piece to the whole franchise. Kind of like a tribute to that. And then, of course, it ends with one of the most nostalgic things that they could do. Just that, like exactly like in the first one. Or I don't know if they did it in the second one, but they left it in this first one. Just. But
it kind of just like, when you think about it, though, they really do leave it open for them to do another one.
They could technically, but no.
But I don't want them to make another.
That was such a good ending.
Yeah, they better not make a fourth one or another TV
That
show.
would ruin it. That's such a good ending.
As for my thoughts, I pretty much agree with you guys. This track is just epic. The way it wraps up the franchise, it really feels like the big finale. It really is so emotional, so exciting, epic, tearjerker, like cry, and just, it's so good. I give this track a 10 out of 10. I think this soundtrack as a whole is great. I think as a franchise, How to Train Your Dragon, it's just great. The consistency, the way it all connects and everything, it all feels connected. It really does. When you go from the first movie to Legend of the Bone Napper to Book of Dragons, Gift of the Night Fury, Riders / Defenders of Berk, and then Dawn of the Dragon Racers, Race to the Edge, the second movie, and obviously The Hidden World, it's just wonderful. It really feels like, wow, what an experience, what a journey.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a video I'm gonna do a How to Train Dragon review, but do it really in depth. I'm planning it to be like an hour long or something like that, but go in depth about pretty much almost every aspect. I love Hiccup's growth through the coming of age story in a way, but it's done really well. I just want to do a big review on it, going through every aspect, looking at specific scenes. I'm going to have a look at the soundtrack as well. Yeah, and I'm going to explain it all in that.
All right.
But it's going to be a very long.
I have nothing else to say.
Edit.
We will play Together from Afar at the end of this video, but while you were gone, Harry, I asked NewOrca, do you think most DreamWorks franchises are over? Like, a lot of DreamWorks franchises are kind of over. Shrek is definitely over, and Puss in Boots 2 could be happening. Madagascar 4, according to an article, it's gonna happen, but I just can't see it happening. How to Train Your Dragon has ended, and obviously Kung Fu Panda, well, that's obviously just continued. So, would you like to give your thoughts, Harry, like on this? Do you think most DreamWorks franchises have kind of come to an end?
Agreed. For the most part, unless DreamWorks makes a sequel to Rise of the Guardians already, and I'm like, to make a franchise about that, not the freaking Boss Baby, whatever that the piece of garbage was. And
They
I'm
said
like,
they might be doing that one though, if they get enough supporters, and I really hope they do. I'm more interested in a Legend of the Guardians too, though, because of the cliffhanger of well, Claude was never found. But hopefully we will get a sequel to that. I mean, I hope so. But yeah, I'd like to see another Rise of the Guardians, and I think I agree. Like for the most part, they're over. I think Kung Fu Panda 4 is going to be a hopeful, satisfying conclusion to the franchise. But I don't have a lot to say. How to Train Your Dragon, just wow. Would any of you guys like to give your expectations, thoughts on the upcoming final short we're going to get for this franchise?
All I can say is hope it's I just know it will be. I know it will be wonderful, and but to me, the hidden world is the proper How to Train Your Dragon ending.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, obviously they could do just one more short just to
Well, yeah.
give it in. I mean, it would be nice. See what happens next, but that's all. Like a Christmas special. I wouldn't mind if they did that, like a Christmas special, like once a year maybe.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I doubt it, but I mean, since Jay Baruchel said he's done, but maybe. NewOrca, would you like to say anything about the fifth and final short?
I don't know. I have no idea what the final short will consist of. Is it a bit before 3? Or is it a bit after
most
3?
likely going to be after.
I mean, it'll be nice to see. I'm expecting we'll probably see the kids a lot more. And
I want to see.
new-
That's one
new-
thing I want to see.
new
What do the kids act like?
But the thing is though, although they're in very limited screen time, you can get quite a lot of their characterization just through their body language. I really like the son, how he acts. Like, and it's quite
Nothing.
subtle, but you know, he hides behind his mum's, like, I don't know what that is, like, cape.
What about Saphir?
And then how he like slightly looks through his fingers when he's doing the. I don't know. He has good
Hold
character.
your hands out like this. That's it.
Oh, and he giggles as well when he gets tossed up in the air. That's adorable. What?
But yeah, that's pretty much all we can say, really. We hope you enjoyed the soundtrack review, and what would you guys like anything to say?
Review.
Together from Afar is the most beautiful end credit song I've ever heard in my entire life, and the Hidden World soundtrack would be the best score John Powell composed for the trilogy.
All right, we're going to play Together from Afar, and we shall see you guys next time, and skadoosh pretty much.
You and I, we've been through it all. Is it time to say goodbye? Dry your eye. We have been together so long. Is it time to let go? Apart we grow. Soon we know. You are the reason to go on living. on my own. We'll always be friends, but keep our distance. We'll be together from afar forever. Listen, listen within. We haven't been, we've been everywhere, to the stars and back again. Yes, my friend, we haven't seen, we've seen everything. But will I ever see you again, my old friend? Friends till the end. You are the reason to go on living. I need to try things and be on my own. We'll always be friends, but keep our distance. We'll be together from afar forever.